Hello everyone, welcome to the show. There's just one thing you need to know. Everything he says is his own views. Now it's time for the cycling news. Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Pritchard Cycling News Show. We're going to get straight into news. Now I did say we were going to be doing the preview show today for the World Championships. However, I'm in Harrogate tomorrow, so I've postponed it till tomorrow so we can actually bring you some news today because we've got breaking news. Some exciting news that has just dropped. We'll get into that shortly, but first, as you can see, I'm wearing this beautiful t-shirt and I just want to promote it to you because I want you to go and purchase one. Please, thank you. Hesh. We've been working hard on a brand new merch shop over at T-Mill. If you want to be part of the Cycling Hub crew, support the channel, support Cycling Hub, then head over to cyclinghub.tmill.com. Check out our shop there and buy some bloody merch. So in homage of the World Championships being in Yorkshire, we wanted to commemorate it by designing our own Cycling Hub inspired rainbow stroke, Yorkshire Rose stroke, Cycling Hub commemorative t-shirt. It's the one I'm wearing. This t-shirt would have come out last week, however, it appears that if you put certain colours in certain orders, you're infringing on trademark law. So we've redesigned our t-shirt. It's all within the boundaries of trademark now. Please go and support the channel by buying this. And also, not only are you going to be supporting the channel and Cycling Hub and me, because I spent a lot of time on the design with the T-Mill designers, but also, now this is the kicker, for every t-shirt you purchase, your home nation in the World Championships at the weekend will receive an additional 10 watts. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to support their home nation by buying this t-shirt? Head over cyclinghub.tmill.com, buy yourself a commemorative official Cycling Hub commemorative Yorkshire World Championships t-shirt, as well as any of the other merch you want on there. You want a bit of pink? We got a bit of pink. You want pink on black? We got pink on black. Obvs, I wore it yesterday. Please go and support the channel. Please go and support Cycling Hub. And without further ado, let's get into the news. Breaking news. And there's been a shot in the arm for British cycling's Olympic preparation in the form of a donation of £5,000 from Triangle Cycle Division of the Barclay Toy Group. Wow. This is news coming out of this that my wife has just handed to me. I've got someone's just given another of these cycling magazines from 1972. Cycling paper? I don't know. Never read of those. Anyway, that is not the breaking news. The breaking news is our friends Wahoo have just purchased, literally right as of now, the embargo has just been lifted on a deal between Wahoo and Speedplay. And this comes off the back of the Atlanta company buying Sufferfest only a few months ago back in the summer. Is this big news or not? Well, yeah, I think it bloody is actually. Founder of Wahoo Fitness, Chip Hawkins, said Wahoo and Speedplay share a common approach of leveraging technology to develop products that enhance the performance of cyclists. Speedplay pedals are the most innovative, high-performance pedals available, so it's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit with Wahoo. We welcome the opportunity to offer another edge to the Wahooligans around the world with the best pedals in the business. Speedplay, the company, was founded in 1991, but the first Speedplay pedal, the X, was patented back in July in 1989 by Richard Byrne. Speedplay pedals are characterized by the double-sided entry. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a bit of double-sided entry? A rider can step on either side to engage the cleat, and the foot is free to rotate from side to side about the center of the pedals. Tasty little bit of news there, a bit of an exclusive here on the Pritchard Cycling News Show. The embargo was lifted at 2 p.m. UK time here in the UK. When I first heard about this, I was like, I was hoping for something more. I was hoping for something bigger. I was hoping they were going to be, I don't know what they were going to be doing. I was just hoping they were going to be buying a big company that we could have gone, wow, what the hell's going on here? But with Speedplay, you can't help thinking the way that Wahoo innovate, the way clearly Speedplay innovate, you can't help thinking that it's only a matter of time before we see, I mean, it's going to be a while, but we can't help thinking that there could be a collaboration between the two, making a power Speedplay pedal maybe. Taking all that innovative technology that Wahoo have got, putting it into a Speedplay pedal, and boom, you got yourself a nice power pedal. So Wahoo not only dominating the indoor market when it comes to cycling, but potentially looking to try and capitalise on the outdoor market as well, alongside the amazing Wahoo Roam and Wahoo Bolts. Feel free to leave your comments down below. What do you think of this acquisition by Wahoo? Good play? See what I did there? Or bad play? Do they need it? Do they not need it? Do you think anything else could be coming out of this partnership? Do you think we'll see... Well, I don't know. What else could we see? Let's talk World Championships now. And yesterday saw the junior men's and junior women's world champions crowned. But both riders managed to do it in some bizarre circumstances. First up, the junior men's, and that was won by Antonio Di Bieri. So when you watch the Italian rider off the start line, you can see that he has some sort of issue with his crank. I don't know whether he's just stripped the teeth on the crank because those pedals don't look in line anymore, or it potentially could have been because of the wet start ramp. I don't know exactly what it was. However, his cranks failed, which meant he had to have a bike change. And this wasn't one of those run-of-the-mill bike changes that are really fast, really rapid. He was rolling down off the start ramp into the first turn. He stopped beside the car. No one was really ready for him. They had to get out of the car, get the bike off. Then he stood about for a little while they got the bottle off the old bike onto the new one. Then eventually he went on his way, but he still managed to take the victory. Di Bieri finished first in the 27.6 kilometre time trial in 38 minutes and 28 seconds. Still, after that bike change, 8 seconds ahead of second place, Enzo Linzer. Danke. Third place was German Marco Brenner. He was 13 seconds behind. It's rare in this day and age that a rider has either a mechanical, a crash, or has some sort of issue and still manages to even finish in the top 10, let alone take a victory. But not only did it happen in the men's, it also happened in the junior women's as well. This is Russian rider Aguil Garieva deciding that she's winning by too much of a margin. She doesn't want to beat the rest of the girls up so much, so she decides to take a wrong turn and go straight on when she should have been turning right. She realised the mistake, spun round, did a U-ey, headed up the hill and went to the finish. And again, won it by 4 seconds. Third place was Eleanor Baxted, 11 seconds behind the winner. And to be fair, Eleanor Baxted, there was a lot of pressure on her, so to get a medal out of that, huge congratulations. I'm very proud. I feel very patriotic about that one. However, she nearly came a cropper, and hey, she's lucky to be on the podium because this was one of the greatest saves I've seen. Now, we've mentioned those other saves before, and I don't really rate them, but this was awesome. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% too sure exactly what she was doing going into that turn. I don't know if she was trying to get back on the aero bars and then take the turn on the aero bars, which would have been crazy. But thankfully, she managed to keep herself upright, maintain that speed, or majority of it, and finish third. So yay! First medal for the Brits. Second medal for the Brits. As I'm recording this show right now, the women's elite individual time trial is underway. However, the men's under 23 this morning, well, I don't know, should this have been banned? Where was the UCI's extreme weather protocol? Because I swear these roads were far too dangerous. Now, this is a quality piece of content. Thankfully, the rider was all right, but Johan Price suffered a massive crash when he ended up aquaplaning. Well, I don't even think it was aquaplaning. I think he just didn't have a clue how deep that puddle was, and he just went face first into it. Thankfully, he got up, so it's comedy gold. However, it could have been a very, very dangerous indeed, including this crash here from the Hungarian. Attila Valter, who went down in tremendous style. He ended up crashing on what looked like a poor road surface as opposed to weather conditions. I'm not entirely sure what happened here, but he was so lucky to get away with this one. Again, he could have hit his head on that curb, hit his body at any point of that curb and really done himself some damage. I think thankfully, because of the wet weather, it actually allowed him to slide off things and glance off them rather than just hitting them head on and really suffering a big impact. And check out these screenshots as well. You can see it's standing water right across the road. Now, I know, yes, a time trial is probably a little bit safer than a road race, but these riders are still traveling fast, can still really hurt themselves if they fall off, especially on that standing water. So why there wasn't a commissaire or one of the escorts stopping there and just directing the riders through the narrowest, shallowest part of the water, I don't know. There should have been some warning there, because a lot of those riders potentially might have had the head down, missed the fact that this water's approaching. But anyway, one man who was able to tackle the challenging weather conditions and take the under-23 World Time Trial Championship again for the third time was Mikhail Berg. The rider who's just recently signed a 3-year deal with UAE Team Emirates secured his third World Championship Time Trial title ahead of the brace of American riders Ian Garrison and Brandon McNulty, finishing 27 and 28 seconds behind him respectively. So what do we think to this? Do we think the event should have been cancelled, delayed, potential commissaires or escorts on those positions where that standing water was, either slowing the riders down or at least alerting them that there's standing water on the road and here is the narrowest, shallowest part of it? Or should they just have completely abandoned it until tomorrow when the weather is supposed to be a little bit better? I know the schedule's pretty tight as it is, so yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. A lot of riders were complaining about just how treacherous those conditions were. If this was the men's elite race or the women's elite race, would it have gone ahead? And last story we're going to cover today is this one, and I'm not too sure where I stand on this. I'm not going to say I'm sitting on the fence because that would be very offensive. Wow, there's 2 puns in there, that's terrible. Anyway, this story out of Het Nieuwsblad is that Wout Van Aert is seeking legal action to potentially sue the ASO after his crash on stage 13 of this year's Tour de France. Het Nieuwsblad reported that Wout Van Aert and Jumbo-Visma have sent a letter on the incident to the ASO, though the issue of financial compensation has yet to be formally raised. Wout Van Aert told Het Nieuwsblad that my management and team are currently looking at this. It is clear that the severity of the injury was the result of the way in which the barrier was placed there. Now, I don't know which side of the fence I want to sit on this one because, well, first off, the accident was all his own fault. The crash was his own fault. There's no doubt about that. He was pushing himself to the limits. He was trying to make up every single second he could, and by doing so, cut the corner a little bit too tight, didn't give himself enough room for error, and in doing so ended up crashing. That sucks. That's crap. That's horrible, especially with the injuries he sustained. An inch to the left, 2 inches to the left, would have seen him fly through that corner unscathed, probably win that stage, probably going to be competing at the World Championships this weekend. But that wasn't to be because he took that corner too close to the fence and ended up crashing. Now that fence, he might have a point actually, because you can never sufficiently protect a corner with a fence that is straight. You're always going to have these issues of things sticking out, of pointy bits being in the corner. If you're going to try and protect and barricade off a corner, it needs to be with some sort of round fence. Surely that's simple. And the other issue is, and potentially this is one thing that he took into consideration when he was making his assessment as to how close to cut this corner. That fence, or those fences, were covered by that sponsorship board. Well, it was a fabric kind of sponsorship sign. Now, did he think that, well, did he think it was thicker than it was? Potentially he could have rubbed his leg down the side of that and it wouldn't have actually got caught like it did, or the handlebars got caught in there, so he could run the risk of running it really close because he would just rub off the side of that fabric sponsor. It's just a thought. I don't know, maybe that was the case, but unfortunately because of the way the fences were going around the corner, the way they joined and the way that the fabric covered them, if there was no fabric there, he might have got a better idea of just how far that fence was sticking out and could have avoided it. So you potentially might have a case with that. Surely in this day and age though, we should be able to protect the riders with better hoarding or fencing or whatever it is you want to call it round a time trial circuit, because we've pretty much got bikes that ride themselves nowadays. We've got electronic gears, we've got super fast wheels, we've got super fast aerodynamic suits, yet we haven't designed a better fencing of a cycling event. But let me know down below, what do you think? Do you think Wout Van Aert should be able to sue the ASO for not really thinking about the potential of what could happen at that corner? Or do you think Wout Van Aert should just say, as horrible it is, because he's suffered some serious injuries, say, do you know what? That was my fault, that. I don't want this to happen again, so maybe we should think about changing these barriers. But yeah, it's just my fault and I'm taking it on the chin. Like, if I go out in a race and I crash through my own fault, that's me taking responsibility for it and saying, I've crashed. There we go, another show in the bag, Hirsch. Make sure you've hit that like button. If you've not enjoyed it, hit that dislike button. Please leave your comments down below on everything we've talked about or anything you just want to randomly say down below. We need to start going through comments again, but comments have tailed off a little bit. Come on, let's get this community spirit back up. Who's going to go and buy one of these t-shirts? Link down in the description if you want to go and buy one. Other than that, all that's left to say is make sure you go and follow my personal Instagram down in the link in the description below so you can get all the lowdown, all the behind the scenes tomorrow as I head to the World Championships up in Harrogate for the men's individual time trial.